it is the day I've waited for a long, long time. Georgia and Oregon kick off the season today in Las Vegas at 4:30. Coverage starts at 4:05. First game of the year for the Dogs. And you know, it's one Georgia can win. The Dogs have an advantage right now, being that Oregon's 2 players of their starting 5 will be out due to injuries, and that's unfortunate. So get well soon to those Oregon players. And you know, Georgia's going to have some injuries too. I mean, R.J. Sonara has not been announced in the game yet, so I mean, there's still a lot that we don't know right now about this Georgia team, and we haven't played a game yet, so there's that. But history-wise, Georgia and Oregon have only played once. They played in the 1975 season. Georgia lost that game to Oregon. I believe the final score was something along the lines of 87 to 74 or something like that. So, second time they've ever played. And, you know, if you're a Georgia fan, you're looking for a win. That game was a part of the Indiana Classic. Georgia, I believe, they lost to Indiana in the first round, or they lost to somebody. They didn't do good in that tournament, but they lost to Oregon in the second round of the tournament. So, what is today? Let's come back to present day. Former Georgia Bulldog Cario Quindo is on the Ducks today. Cario, a great player. Love watching him play basketball. He will be the enemy today. A great player, definitely somebody Georgia is going to have to definitely control, because I mean, it's Super Cario. That's all you need to know about that. Super Cario. He's going to do Cario things today, and Georgia's going to have to figure out a way to stop that. But and I say this cautiously optimistic. If Georgia can play good defense, and you're going to get Georgia's defense will be a question, but the offense will be too. You do lose Terry Roberts, Braylon Bridges, and Cario Quindo. You can say what you want. Georgia's offense was Braylon Bridges. It ran through Braylon Bridges, and with all these new guys transferring, you know, you keep Justin Hill, you keep Jabri Abdul-Rahim, you keep Frank Anselm. So you're going to have a lot of players back from last year. You're going to have 3 or 4 dudes back from last year. But it's how these transfers are going to play. You bring back M.A. Moncrief on the defensive end. You know, M.A. could get up there and block some shots if he needs to. Boy, wouldn't that be nice if M.A. Moncrief had a good day today. That would be pretty nice. But Back to originally what I was saying. Georgia's defense is going to have to figure, and this is what cost Georgia so much last year. Their defense, man, was just, some nights it was great, some nights it was just terrible. And to beat Oregon, I think Oregon's a good basketball team. Under Dana Altman, they are one of the best. They've only missed a tournament 4 years when Dana Altman has been the head coach, which is really crazy to think about. But here's the thing about Oregon. This isn't teams with Dylan Brooks, Tyler Dorsey, Jordan Bell, Peyton Pritchard. They do have great, solid guys on their team, but I think Georgia has better guys today. And that's not a shot at Oregon. That's just me seeing everything in red and black glasses. But realistically, you're going to have to look at this game, and you don't want to start the season 0-1, man. I mean, you really do not want to start the season 0-1. That would be really bad for Georgia to start the season 0-1. That's why we got to win. We have to win this game. Must wins this early in the season do not exist. But it would feel really, really good to win this game. Georgia's non-conference schedule is very, very brutal, and you know, it's just, even their conference schedule to a certain extent is very, very brutal. And you want to win the games you can win, because, I mean, let's be real here. Alabama, Kentucky, LSU, Florida, Arkansas twice this year. You're playing teams you usually do not beat in the SEC. You're playing teams you usually do not beat. So Georgia will have to get it done against Oregon. In my opinion, I think they can. And that's not the only basketball team playing today. The women's team plays today at 7:30 at Stagman Coliseum. The women's team will be taking on North Carolina A&T. Coach, I forgot who North Carolina A&T's coach was. I just looked it up a little while ago. But Georgia coming in a second-year head coach. And the Lady Dogs, man, could get this mess rolling. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we went undefeated in conference play. That's just my opinion. Because they do have a really solid team this year, or we have a really solid team this year. Unfortunately for Georgia, they're in the same conference with LSU and South Carolina, but Georgia can dethrone them at some point. I believe Zoisha Smith might be one of the best players, just not in the SEC, but all of America. And you know, like I do miss the team. I do miss the teams with Gabby Connolly and Sarah Ashley Barker and Jenna Stady, but unfortunately, those days are done, and we got new blood. We're going to get the job done here, man. Both Georgia's basketball teams are going to win today. Just a little broadcasting information. The women's game, 7:30, probably on 960 The Ref. Jeff Dantzler will be doing play-by-play for the Dogs in that game. The men's game coverage will start at 4:05 on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. You can listen to the Georgia Bulldogs. You can listen to the radio broadcast on 7:50 a.m. WSB 95.55 or 95.5 WSBB FM and all across the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network. I'm talking about 92.1 WPEH, 103.7 the Chuck FM, 960 The Ref. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowell, Adam Gillespie returned for Georgia basketball, the best play-by-play crew of all sports. So I've set the stage for you. Georgia and Oregon, Las Vegas. Georgia has to win this game. It would be really cool to win this game. I'm not riding the season on winning one game, but since this game has been announced, I've been really, really excited for it. And now it's time to play, folks. College basketball is here. 185 games today. Kentucky plays later tonight. Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech play later tonight. College, and then Georgia plays Oregon at 4:30. College basketball is here, folks, and we are going to enjoy every second of it. So once again, Georgia and Oregon, 4:30 p.m., 1:30 Pacific time. Lady Dogs and North Carolina A&T, 7:30 p.m. Georgia Bulldog Radio Network, Jeff Dantzler for that game. 7:15 start time for coverage, and Georgia and Oregon 4 o'clock start time for coverage. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowell, and Road Dog Adam Gillespie. Let's go Hoop Dogs.